Do you have goals? Maybe you want to start a business, a YouTube channel, learn a new language. If so, if you have goals, listen up because what I'm about to tell you in today's video could save you years of your life, and you might have already spent years of your life falling and being in this trap. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between procedural knowledge and declarative knowledge. Declarative knowledge is found in books, podcasts, videos. They lie in entities where you consume them. This is commonly known as facts. And when we're in school, we focus on declarative knowledge, right? When we read history, when we are learning science, we're opening up that textbook and we're consuming these facts. And then to pass the test, we recall those facts, right? And so from a young age, we learn that declarative knowledge is the knowledge that we're supposed to get after. However, this is a trap later in life. And let me tell you why. You see, a lot of things that we need to learn down the road don't require declarative knowledge. Or they do, but it's the minor kind of knowledge that we need to actually get. You see, procedural knowledge is king. And let me tell you why. When it comes to learning skill sets, whether it be running a business, learning how to make videos, or other, just tasks like that, riding a bike even, we don't get there through obtaining declarative knowledge for the most part. We tend to rely on procedural knowledge. Procedural knowledge is learning by doing. And it's like kinesthetic knowledge, I think is the term for it, where you're in the lab, you're working with things, and then you learn by doing, right? We learn for later in life tasks, such as starting a business, doing therapy, becoming an engineer, so much, yes, we do have that declarative knowledge, but we really need that procedural knowledge to cement what we've learned and to actually learn it in the first place. Because think about it. If you want to learn how to ride a bike, you might consume podcasts. I hope not, but you might be consuming podcasts. You might be watching videos. You might be reading books. How do I ride a bike? Do I put my left foot out first? Do I put my right foot out first? And imagine just think about how ridiculous that is for learning how to ride a bike. When we ride bikes and we learn how to do it, we get on the bike, we look like fools, we pedal, we try to pedal, and then we fall down. And then we get back up, we fall down, and again, we fall down until we learn how to ride the bike. And I think riding a bike is a really good skill to focus on because a lot of the skills that we want to learn are kind of like riding that bike. They're less like science class and they're more like riding that bike. And so now I want to get into why we really do fall into that trap of declarative knowledge. You see, declarative knowledge feels good. We feel like we're making progress, right? I'm watching that podcast, I'm watching that video, I'm gaining all these facts, boom, 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 boom. Surely, when I start my business in a month, I will be ready. I won't make that mistake, right? And yeah, right. That's not going to happen. We are going to fail and fail when we start that business, right? And the thing is, what's really sinister about declarative knowledge is that we feel like we're making progress, but we're really making very slow progress, if at all, right? Because unless you're like a savant and you can remember everything that you consume, most of us, it goes in one ear and out the other, right? Except maybe we remember, I don't know, I'm just throwing a random number out there, like 20%. And so we learn maybe 20%, but then we don't actually use that 20% that we learn. And so, the phrase use it or lose it, we're probably going to lose that 20% anyways. So imagine spending years of your life consuming content, gathering this 20% of information, and then you lose it because you haven't ever used it. And I fell into that trap for years. And looking back, it's ridiculous. And like look right now, like my videos that I'm making aren't the best, right? But at least like I'm starting to get that procedural knowledge, right? My camera, speaking skills aren't the best, but like, am I going to read a book and seriously become a master at speaking to a camera? No. Like you just do it through reps, through feedback from people that watch the video or from your friends, and then you make those iterations. And so I think that this is really important to take note of, because that procedural knowledge is going to get you to where you want to be, not the declarative knowledge. When we feel like we're imposters, right? When we have that imposter syndrome, we really do rely on that declarative knowledge because we don't want to fail. And so to postpone the discomfort of failing, we're just going to keep learning that declarative knowledge. We're going to learn that information. But guess what? You're gonna fail no matter what. So you might as well just get started, right? And it's easier said than done, right? I've definitely fallen into this trap. And so my hope for this video is to share with you guys the difference between procedural and declarative, and to show you why going down the path of consuming content is just not the way. Because I want you guys to get to enjoying learning the process and to get to that goal as soon as you possibly can, right? If you have goals, put them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys are going to be working on. And maybe your goal is, declarative knowledge based. Like if that's the case, please put it in the comment section below. I'd love to get some discussion going about what your guys' goals are and how you guys are going to go tackle them. And remember, stay mercifully relentless. Peace.